Hello there, world of tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitzen. In today's video, I will be playing in the Tier 9 Soviet double-shot heavy tank, the Object 752, as the vehicle has entered the first stage of the auctions. Now, after looking at all of the price tags, which, you can see with me here, there are some good deals and some not so good deals. You can see vehicles like the Kunze-Panzer for 5,000 gold, not too bad, but for the most part, I feel like 8,500 gold for a Defender Mark 1, 10,000 gold for a Chimera, 10,000 gold for a Gravedigger, and apparently almost 1,400 of them have sold. That's a little surprising to me personally, because the Gravedigger is not worth even close to 10,000 gold. I would say the Brask is an okay price tag, but looking at all these price tags, I was extremely surprised to see that the 752 started off at only 12,500 gold. If this tank drops to 11,750, or, even 12,500 is not a terrible price tag. To be exampled, I literally said in my previous video talking about what I thought was a decent price tag, I would say maybe about 10,000 to 12,000 gold is honestly a decent price tag for the tank. Yeah, I literally said it's a pretty decent price tag for the vehicle, and there you go. So, if you want my honest opinion, I would say out of all the tanks for sale, the best price tag is the Object 752 on the auctions, because the Chieftain Mark 6 is always sold for 17,500. Really, it's always sold. You can buy those crates that give you like that drop chance. It's like maybe a 20% drop chance for the tank, and they also give you gold, and you'll probably have better money savings doing that than you would just buying the tank on the Blitz Fair gold prices, at least if you ask me. I'm not sure if any of those crates are still in store. I know they were, but honestly, I do think that you would probably save money, because right now, for example, you can buy a Super Conch for 20,000 gold, and that's the exact same equivalence of what about 1,500 people have bought for the AMX M454. So, I'm not sure why people are buying tanks at full price. You're basically not saving anything, but that is your personal decisions. In today's video, I'll be playing in the 752 and talking about the tank, because I figured if I'm going to endorse the vehicle for it being one of the better tanks, I would definitely say that out of all the tanks in the first stage Blitz Fair auction, this is probably the one to get. So I might as well play in it and showcase it. So, here we are in our first game. We have an M6O, an IS-7, and a VK7201K against us. Alright, that's not too bad of a lineup. I'm just gonna make my way to the front line and try and get hull down. This vehicle features pretty good gun depression at 8 degrees, but the best thing about the tank is really the gun. It has a 450 alpha shot, which is a lot. That's a lot, actually. And the fact that it's got 450 alpha paired with 374 mils of heat pen means that, you can literally just butter anything that would have decent armor against you. So we got the VK72 off to the side, and I just realized that I don't really have that much support, because the majority of my team appears to have gone low, which is something I obviously need to be super duper cautious about. There's one shell into the VK, he bounces me, that allows me to get a second shell into his tank, and look at that, 700 damage dealt. Is there more I need to say? It's just double shot tanks are so powerful due to the guns they carry. And this vehicle, it's definitely a super duper strong double shot. We got the M6Yo in front. That was 470 hit points we took off. That was 538. And now we back up, and there you go. Now we've taken off a pretty decent chunk of damage from their team already. And in 7 more seconds, we have another 2 shells ready again. Okay, well, let's see if we can get this Yo in mid. I'm hoping that this is going to be the guy we can get, because he's kind of just, stuck here. Yep, there you go. 1 easy shell into the Yo. 3, 2, 1. 2 easy shells into the Yo. And now we back up again. Already we have absolutely poobed on the enemy team and dealt 2,500 damage. It doesn't seem like I did 2,500 damage, but that's just what makes this tank so good, is the fact that you can just literally poob on people. I mean, there's one shell into the VK. We're going to load in a premium shell because we have all that heat pen I talked about. Back up, and that's 3,400 damage. There you go. Long live the VK-72. And now I'm going to continue pushing on up. I mean, at this point, it's a pretty easy victory. All that's left is the IS-7, who pushed his tank medium side. A bit odd to see that honestly happen. But you know what? I'll take a victory, and there you go. So pretty good first battle. And you can see why I do believe the 7.52 is so strong. It essentially has a tier 10 gun. Like, even the same DPM values as tier 10 heavies, maybe even a bit more. If we were to take a look at the gun's DPM, I think it's around 2,400. Yeah, 2,487. Which is really, really impressive, to be honest. You gotta realize that this is a tier 9, with more DPM than the average tier 10 heavy. It also has more penetration than the average tier 10 heavy. It's got more gun depression than the average tier 10 heavy. And it's got more alpha, actually, because it does have like 450. So, yeah, actually, no, I think it's 440 alpha. But it's still pretty beefy of a gun. So here we are, second battle. We got a tier 8 matchup. We played tier 10s last game, so I think it's only fair we play tier 8s. We got a 112 Glacial, 2 tank destroyers, ISU, and a Scorbopian G, Type 57, Skoda T50, T54, and an Object 752 on the enemy team. I would not be surprised to see if that player picked it up through the auctions. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. Now again, because this tank actually has 8 degrees of gun depression, I can go right over to B Hill, and I should be able to work it pretty well. And the great thing is that I can out-trade just about every heavy unless that 7.52 goes there. And I should point out that the 7.52 is not impervious. Its armor is actually, I think, one of the weaker points on this vehicle. The turret does have good armor, but I wouldn't say great. You can definitely pen it if you have decent heat pen. And if you want a good example on that, you can see right here, my heat butters through the Object 7.52 turret. So I can just load heat and double tap right through his turret cheeks, and look at that. We've already dealt 800 damage. Now, to be fair, I don't know why that guy did that. He put himself in a really aggressive position, and it looks like he almost had one shell only. Like, did you see that? He fired once and then just didn't fire the second shot, which was a little odd to me. But, yeah, let's just load heat, and there you go. Another easy heat penetration into the 7.52. He's gonna die. Let's reload our clip, and, yeah, I mean, already their deadliest tank is gone, by far. So that's already super duper good for me. I'm going to push off to the side over here. We got 5 more seconds left for our shells to be loaded, and I want to maneuver this like this. I think we drive over here, get 1 easy shell into the Glacial, and we reload again, and 2 easy shells into the Glacial, and wow, those were some big low rolls. We still got a pretty decent chunk off him, and I'm not going to complain, but yeah, Wargaming kind of robbed me there. Alright, well, 4 more seconds, then we have our shells once again. I'm thinking I'm going to push this way. We can see that the Type 57 on our team is probably going to win that brawl. So I feel like the 54, ooh, unfortunate that that did miss. But you know what, the ISU, that was real sad. I don't even know what to say. That was just a real sad miss. I mean, this T-54 stock, so it's not like it's really a worry or anything. Skoda T-50 does have a nice gun, so I do have to be a little bit cautious against that. But honestly, I could really care less. There's one 430 tap, and if the Type 57 wants to poke, then there's another nice 400 tap. And the nice thing is that because obviously we are a pretty healthy vehicle, I can take shells from all these vehicles, and it's not like it really hurts me too much. I mean, yeah, we're down to 800 health, but what is their team going to do in this situation now? Scorpion shoots, puts himself as an easy shot for me, so we get a nice 500 roll. Then I use my second shot, finish off the T-54, and again, another 3,300 damage game, and their team is dead. There's nothing their team's going to do. You can see why the 7.52 is such a strong vehicle. It's got a great gun, good mobility, it's got everything you would want for a heavy tank, especially judging that it's in tier 9 and it can fight tier 8s and absolutely bully them, while also being able to play tier 10s and still do well. It's just a great vehicle. So, yeah, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is my review on the Object 752. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. But other than that, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!